Thanks for joining, everyone. Good morning. My name is Sergio Valdit. I'm the communication specialist for Resource Watch. I'm glad to welcome you to this webinar. I'm based in Mexico City, so it's good morning for me and good day to all of you. And just to remind everyone, in this webinar, we have live translation available in 4 languages, in Spanish, French, Portuguese, and Bahasa Indonesian. You just have to hit the interpretation button at the bottom of your screen to select your language. Also, I just want to let you know of the Q&A dynamics that we will have for this webinar. We have a Q&A feature in Zoom, built in Zoom, where you can type your questions as we go through the session. Some of them might get answered by our panelists during the session. And for the rest, we will have time at the end of the webinar where we'll have time to interact a bit more with the panelists. And please, I remind you that at the end of the webinar, you will see a post-webinar survey pop in your screen. Please help us fill that. Your feedback is critical for our team to improve our data offerings and to continue to organize events like this. So without further ado, I would like you to introduce you to our panelists for today. If we could go to the next slide. As I mentioned, my name is Sergio Valdit, the communications specialist for Resource Watch. And we have a great panel today, starting with Evan Czakowski, Global Director of the WRI's Data Lab, who will be giving an introduction. And we will also have members of the teams from the Resource Watch team and the Global Forest Watch team. We'll have Gabby Nussbaum who is the engagement manager for Global Forest Watch, and we will have Christine Lister, who is the research associate for Resource Watch, and Nancy Sanchez, who is a product specialist also for Resource Watch. All of them worked in the development of this new MapBuilder tool. And we have as guests, we have Trevor and Luami from the Gerritz Cluster Biosphere Reserve, who will be sharing a case study of how they use MapBuilder in their organization. So without further ado, Evan, the floor is yours.
Excellent. Thank you, Sergio, and thank you to everyone joining us today from around the world. It's so exciting to see the turnout, the excitement, the interest, and we're really looking forward to a great presentation. So once again, my name is Evan Czakowski, and I'm the Global Director of the World Resources Institute's Data Lab. For any of you not familiar with WRI, we're a global research institute that is dedicated to moving humanity to live in ways that protect the environment and its capacity to provide for the needs of current and future generations. One of the core ways we do this is by building tools and platforms that help researchers and implementers on the ground translate data into insights and action. What you'll see today is an updated version of our MapBuilder tool with new features. We're really excited to share this progress, and it builds on the work of our teams internally, specifically the Global Forest Watch team and the Resource Watch team, 2 incredible platforms in their own right who've collaborated on this project. On the new sort of features, they're built with 2 goals in mind. The first is expanding the data available in MapBuilder. So there's a lot of data on forest already. For those of you who may be familiar with prior versions of the tool, that's really the heart of it. But now we're adding new data to expand use cases to help other types of analysis. And second, we wanted to make MapBuilder easier to use for everyone, regardless of whether they had significant background in GIS or coding. And so the changes you'll see today were made very much with those 2 goals in mind. Before we dive into that presentation and learn about those exciting new features, I'd like to take a moment to recognize some of the people and teams who made this possible. First, I want to thank all of the users of MapBuilder who shared their experience, shared their needs. Your work is the foundation of this tool. Without you sharing your experience and how you need to use the tool, what you're doing with it, it would be impossible to build good features that help you do your work. Second, I'd like to thank our friends at the Gerritz Cluster Biosphere Reserve for joining today, for sharing a use case, for sharing their exceptional work with us. We're really happy to have you here. And third, I'd like to take the teams behind this. So internally, the Global Forest Watch team and Resource Watch team spent a lot of work both independently, but then in collaboration, developing these features, testing them, designing them, and getting them ready for this, this exciting moment. So huge thanks to them. And then finally, I'd like to extend thanks to DOB Ecology, who have been steadfast supporters for the work of translating data into impact over the years. They're the fuel behind Resource Watch and now MapBuilder. We thank them for their vision and their leadership and everything they've done to help the community so far. So with that, I'd like to introduce Gabby Nussbaum. Gabby is an engagement manager with our Global Forest Watch team, and she'll be leading us through the rest of the presentation. Gabby, over to you.
Great, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today to discuss MapBuilder and all of its new updates and improvements that we've been developing. For those who are unfamiliar with MapBuilder, MapBuilder is a map-based tool that allows anyone to combine world-class data from WRI's API, like many of the data sets available on Resource Watch and Global Forest Watch, with your own data for both visualization and analysis. We often get feedback with both Resource Watch and Global Forest Watch that users would like to include their own local data sets or to compare their global data, the global data with their own local data. So MapBuilder was developed as a solution to help with this. With MapBuilder, global data sets like data on forests, land cover, carbon, and more, which were derived from remote sensing products, can be combined with contextual local data sets. And typically this can include national data sets on protected areas, subnational boundaries, data on plantations, watersheds, project information, and more. Next slide. MapBuilder can typically be used for many purposes. After your map is built, you can use your map to identify and understand trends by visualizing and comparing spatial data. It allows you to localize global data sets by comparing it with your own data. You can also monitor changes or any patterns occurring within the area of your map. MapBuilder has near real-time data built in, so you can use it to monitor areas, prioritize areas of concern, and help inform decision-making on any follow-up actions to respond to any events that you see. Your map that you create is your own. So you can publicize your data, share your map, and engage with your own community. And any stakeholders using the information and insights from your map, you can share and engage with. Next slide. The map you create using MapBuilder has a lot of already built-in features. Firstly, we've built it to be easy to use. It's integrated with ArcGIS Online, which many GIS practitioners are already familiar with. And we've designed a new easy-to-use workflow, which we'll be describing shortly. And the map can be shared as is, or you can embed it into any website. The map you create already has compelling data integrated in it, like many of the data sets available on Global Forest Watch and Resource Watch. Global data that is irrelevant to your work or region can be removed from your map, and the map has built-in on-the-fly analysis tools, similar to Global Forest Watch. So users of your map can analyze an area of interest by drawing on the map, clicking on a feature, or by dropping in a shapefile. The map is highly customizable. Features have available attribute information that you can customize. Layer metadata is available for you to include. Map creators can embed dashboards associated with specific layers. You can customize a logo for your map. The map has a measuring tool, a search function, and many other features that you can customize into your map or out of your map if you don't want that feature. In addition, MapBuilder supports 10 languages: English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Bahasa Indonesian, Mandarin Chinese, Dutch, Georgian, Armenian, and Azerbaijani. Next slide. As I previously mentioned, MapBuilder already comes with many available global data sets like the ones listed on this slide, but this is not an exhaustive list of all the data we have available on MapBuilder. Global data can be removed as well if you're not interested in showing it on the map. The data that is currently available was chosen based off of our user testing and interviews, and we do welcome feedback. So if there is interest on a global data set that we have on WRI's API, it's something that we can consider if there's a lot of demand, but we try to update MapBuilder once updates to data sets that we have on the map become readily available. So if you're interested in building your own map using MapBuilder, we recommend some GIS experience, as you will need to have your own shape files that you'd like to include in your map. And it's recommended that you understand how to work with that data. And we also recommend that you have an Esri account, either a free or paid one is fine, as the workflow we suggest is integrated into ArcGIS Online. Next slide. MapBuilder is based on a JSON configuration file, which is input into ArcGIS Online. And previously, most customizations to MapBuilder required changes to the code within the file, especially if you used a free account on ArcGIS Online. So it was often quite difficult to customize, and many of our users who didn't have a lot of coding experience felt that this was a barrier. So this was a barrier we really wanted to address. Next slide. We're really excited now to introduce you to a new MapBuilder website and forum, which allows all users to make and customize a map with much less coding needed. Most of the main customizable components of the map are now much simpler to change with the forum input fields. Coding, however, is still required for advanced customization features, but some of the more advanced customization features are actually now easier to use if you have a paid organizational account. So this form should ease some of the barriers that I mentioned. And we're really excited about the new website we've developed and the new form-based MapBuilder workflow to make building a map using data on WRI's API now easier than ever. So now I'd like to introduce you to my colleague, Christine Lister, Research Associate for Resource Watch, who'll be showing you the website and demonstrating the new MapBuilder form and workflow.
Hi, everyone. We are going to be showing you two pre-recorded demos today. Amanda, if you want to advance. So the first one gives you an overview of the kind of final map that you can make. Amanda, next slide. So we encourage you, while you're watching this demo, to think about how you would use a map like this with your own data, with the features that we're going to show you to communicate with your stakeholders, monitor your locations, or to show progress to your funders. So we can go ahead.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining this demonstration for MapBuilder. We will first be giving an overview of the capabilities of MapBuilder applications, including data sets that are available, analysis sets available, and additional language options. We will then be giving an overview of how to create your own MapBuilder applications following the tutorial on our new homepage and our new online form for customizing your MapBuilder application. For this demonstration, we have created a MapBuilder application focusing on ecoregions in the state of Oaxaca in Mexico. These ecoregions come from the Resolve Ecoregions dataset, which we've clipped to the state of Oaxaca. This is our version of your local data that you would be uploading and stylizing in ArcGIS Online, including setting the color, the polygons, and the text labels and the legend that appears in the map. This is the extent of the GIS work that you'll need to do, and you can use our online form for customizing everything else you'll see here in this MapBuilder application. On the left panel, you will see all of the data sets that come with MapBuilder. We have them split into a number of topics, including land cover dynamics, which covers fire alerts, deforestation alerts, and tree cover loss. Land cover, which includes tree cover, high-resolution land cover, above-ground woody biomass, and other forest data sets. And now, additionally, climate data sets relating to carbon removals from forests, air quality within nitrogen dioxide, projected change in dry spells, and other climate-related data sets. Now we will explore visualizing one of our global data sets, which is a high-resolution land cover map from 2000 to 2020 from the University of Maryland that's available at 30-meter resolution based on Landsat imagery. And actually, we'll flip on and off this layer to look at our ecoregions underneath, but zoom into one of our western ecoregions here, which is the Sierra Madre del Sur pine oak forests. If we toggle between 2000 and 2020 within our land cover, you can actually see urban expansion in these pink areas, which represent the built-up area. So again, we'll flip back to 2000, and you can see a lot less of these pink areas, and go up to 2020 and see a lot more of expansion of these urban areas. And again, I'll do one more flip back and forth now that we've zoomed in a little bit more. It's one thing to just look at these data sets, and it's another to perform analysis, which we have pre-programmed by our engineering teams for select data sets. We are still working on programming our land cover analysis, so in the meantime, I will show you tree cover loss analysis. So if I zoom out, you can see tree cover loss highlighted in these pink pixels, which is especially concentrated in these northeast regions. If I click on our polygons, it'll select any of the polygons that intersect, and you can see actually 3 of them came up. And you can see here in this data tab that we have information from the polygons that come from the underlying data from ArcGIS Online. In ArcGIS Online, you can control the column names and the information that appears here. And we are actually going to select this polygon here, which is not one of these. So I will use the X button here, which you can see you can navigate between the selected polygons. We are going for this Oaxacan montane forest one. So I will deselect that one using the X button. And if we click on the analysis tab, you can select one of the analysis to run. We have several analysis available, including counting the active fire alerts in a specific time. You can choose the start and end dates. You can get the total number of integrated alerts from a number of deforestation alerts that are available in Global Forest Watch, and calculate the area of annual tree cover loss, which I'll show you now. When you click Run Analysis, you get this bar chart that shows the area of tree cover loss per year, and if you hover over the bars, you can actually see the area of tree cover loss. It's right now pinched a little bit because I have my screen shortened for this recording. And you can click this Print Report button to get all of the analysis available for this shape. It takes a while to load, so I will leave that for you to run. Returning to our MapBuilder map, we will now be exploring some imagery options that we have as base maps. We have Landsat annual composites that are available from 2013 to 2017. We additionally have a white base map with labels that can be used to highlight certain data sets like our tree cover loss. We also have imagery with labels, without labels, and OpenStreetMap that can also be used to view your data sets under. And we have planet imagery available for the tropics. This has recent imagery at a high resolution of 2 meters. If we filter our tree cover loss to only show 2020 to 2021, we can actually zoom into areas of recent tree cover loss, and I will turn off our ecoregions map so we can view these. So in one of these more northern ecoregions, we can actually see recent tree cover loss, and you can see this might be something like a fire. So the planet imagery can be used to explore recent changes in your area, and you can additionally actually choose the month available, so you can even go back to April 2021. Oh, there you go. Oh, there's the recent loss. Pretty cool. Now we'll be exploring the additional customization that you can do with MapBuilder maps, including adding in another language. Here we've added Spanish as an additional language, where English is the default language of MapBuilder. But if we switch to Spanish, the map will reload, but you can see the layer names or the layer group names are changed here, along with the instructions on the map. The layer metadata will also be changed, and you can provide additional translations of your data with another ArcGIS Online web map, which we'll discuss in our next part of the demo. But you can also add translations of your custom elements up here. So I will show you flipping between English. We have our English title, and in Spanish, we have our Spanish title. You can also provide information on your map in this information column and customize your logo and title, as I mentioned. There's additional links that you can provide that we'll actually get into in the next demo.
Wonderful. So we will have a Q&A section at the end of the webinar as well to answer any of your questions on the capabilities of MapBuilder. In this next section, we're going to show you our new workflow, including our configuration form builder, on how you can make a MapBuilder map like this in just 20 minutes. So Amanda, if you want to play the next video.
In this section of the demonstration, we will be walking through our new homepage that has everything you need to get started with MapBuilder. The first section of the homepage just has an introduction to MapBuilder, and we have our navigation menu at the top. The resources page has much more information on everything that you need to know about MapBuilder, including why you should use MapBuilder, the features of MapBuilder, including what types of local data you can upload, and the global data sets that we have that I just showed you in our last demonstration. There's additional information about how you can navigate through MapBuilder applications and different settings that you can have within our configuration form. We also have example maps from partners and a tutorial section that walks you through making MapBuilder applications. The first step to making a MapBuilder application is to choose an ArcGIS Online plan. ArcGIS Online allows you to store your data and style your web maps that has your data that's included in the MapBuilder application. There are two types of ArcGIS Online accounts. One is a free public account, and the second is a paid organizational account. With the free public account, you don't have to pay for anything, but you have limitations in the amount of data that you can store and the size of data sets that you can add to web maps. With the organizational accounts, you get more data storage that you have to pay for, but you can also share maps and data with people within your organization. We have more information on comparing the two plans in this section of the tutorial. In this next section of the tutorial, we will be creating a web map in ArcGIS Online and a MapBuilder application in ArcGIS Online. So we'll first create the web app. We are actually just going to save the object and then later add our data to it in the last step. That is usually the step that takes the longest. So by clicking the link in the tutorial, you get to the web map viewer. I've actually already saved this map. And we ask that you share it if you want to not log in again in ArcGIS Online. If you do not share with everyone, then your data is password protected with your ArcGIS Online account. We will need the URL of the web map that we just made, but we can get on to the next step. The next step is to create a MapBuilder application, which we will be getting to within our content in ArcGIS Online. I've gone through these steps already and doing this demo, but we will be creating a new application. And the one thing we need to copy is this URL here. This is what links the MapBuilder template to the ArcGIS Online object here. And we will name this test web app. The next step that we will do is go over to the settings. And then this is a slightly complicated step, but we actually need to copy this ID here and paste it into this URL here. We also change the purpose of this app to configurable and click Save. Now you can see there's this text box here, and this is actually where we will be copying our custom settings. I will also share this one so that everyone has access, so I do not need to password protect it. But if we click View, you'll actually see we have the MapBuilder template. So here you can get a preview of your MapBuilder application before adding your customization. Now we'll proceed to the next step of our tutorial, which is to fill out our configuration form. This step in the tutorial explains it to you, but it'll take you to this link where I've actually already filled out a lot of information on our configuration form. Before we get to this step, it also has a user information form with an attached privacy policy, and we just use that information to get more information about our users and hopefully better serve you. So in this first settings of the configuration form, we include the web map URL is back to this guy, and I just copy and pasted this URL, wrong tab, which automatically gets the web map ID for you. There are then a number of settings that you can have for your MapBuilder application, and actually for each of these you can click on the information button and it'll give you more information about that what that setting does. You can also go back to the resources page that'll have additional information on these settings. So I've added a couple things. There is a way for you to have information on your map, as I shared in the first demonstration. You can also add a logo, as we showed in the first demo MapBuilder app. It needs to be a square logo and stored online. You can then have additional links to your website, including a place for people to download your own data. I'm just having it redirect to our homepage. A lot of the work of the configuration form happens in this tab, which is our layer and analysis settings. I've already selected a bunch of data sets, but on the left, you can select your data sets using these checkboxes. So I've actually gone through and selected a bunch of them, and you know what? We'll just choose all of them. For each of these, you can click on the information button to read more about the data set. And for data sets that have analysis available, like in that demonstration MapBuilder application I showed at the beginning, it has this analysis available tag there. Like I said, with our demo MapBuilder application, we can have additional languages. This is the section where you can choose your second language. And you will need to have another web map URL. This can be the same web map URL. I've actually included the same one here. But if you wanted translations of your local data, then you can choose different settings for what to display on that map. You can then provide your translated titles and subtitles and insights that appears in the information tab. Finally, the last section is this advanced settings. There's additional advanced settings that you can read about in the resources page, and I'm just going to add that links open in a new tab. When you click next, your completed configuration file is generated by the website. So if you scroll down, you can see a preview of the configuration file, and previously this is what you had to edit to customize your MapBuilder application. There are a couple ways that you can use this configuration file. We recommend that you copy it to the clipboard using this button. You can also download a copy of your configuration form as a JSON file. This is a text file that can be opened with Microsoft Notepad, Apple TextEdit. You can also email this file to yourself using this button, using the email that you provided in the user intake form. Additionally, if you want to edit your configuration file, you can click the back button to get back to your filled out configuration form. Just be sure to keep this tab open if you want to edit it again, because once you close the tab, you will lose the configuration form settings that you had just filled out. After completing the configuration form and you have copied it to your clipboard or downloaded the JSON file, the last step you need to do is enter the configuration form text into the configuration parameters text box that we had discussed earlier. So once you click save, you'll get a message that the item's successfully updated. In this last step, we are going to be preparing additional local data to include in our web map or configuration form. There are two ways that you can have additional data in your web map, either stored in ArcGIS Online in the web map that you've connected in your configuration file, or additional data either in ArcGIS Online or in one of the supported data formats for MapBuilder, which you can read about in this tutorial. This includes things like web map services and other online hosted data sets. But the tutorial walks you through how to style your data in the ArcGIS Online web map. And we've actually prepared the underlying web map already with the Oaxaca datasets that we saw in the previous demo. So I've used the ArcGIS Online web map styling to color the polygons. I've also configured the pop-ups using the configure pop-ups section, and also added the legend with this legend option. But once you save this, and this is the underlying web map that you've attached to your configuration file, if you go into the overview of your web app, this is where you pasted the configuration parameters, and you click view, you have your finalized MapBuilder application that we saw in the previous demo with all your custom settings.
Great. And once you have this completed MapBuilder application, you can use the URL that you see at the top there to share with your partners, or you can embed this web map into your own website or another system like ArcGIS Online hubs. And there's more information on how you can share your web map in our tutorials. So again, we'll answer more questions in the Q&A section, and I'll be able to answer some more questions now in the chat. But I'm going to pass it over to Luami and Trevor from the Goretz Cluster Biosphere Reserve to tell you guys about how they use data in their work and a use case for MapBuilder. So Luami, take it away.
Hi, everyone, and thank you to World Resource Institute for the opportunity for us to present at this webinar. As Christine said, my name is Luami Sondag, and myself and my colleague Trevor Wolf will be presenting our practical example of how we intend to use MapBuilder in our restoration projects. Next slide, please. So I'll sketch a little bit of the context, and then Trevor will give you a bit more of the technical details. Just a bit of background. We are from the Goretz Cluster Biosphere Reserve, which is a non-profit company based in South Africa. Next slide, please. For those of you that are not familiar with biosphere reserves, they are a UNESCO designation for a place of great scientific and natural value, and they can include various different land types, from pristine areas to agriculture to urban settlements. Now, our domain seen there in the image is very large. It's just under 3.2 million hectares, which as a comparison is about a third the size of Portugal. So we are working in a very large area. Now, naturally, we can't impact the whole area, so we need to be selective in how and where we prioritize our efforts. So, and with such a large area, there are naturally also very many different vegetation types, microclimates, social factors, and so forth. So really being able to work with this various data at a micro and a macro level is quite critical in the long-term success of our projects. Next slide, please. So we have various different projects, of which 3 are landscape level projects aimed at restoring and protecting natural ecosystems. One of our projects focuses on the restoration of degraded land in our northern arid region. The other project focuses on riparian and mountain catchment rehabilitation in the south. And the third project focuses on working with landowners to improve agricultural practices and protect existing intact corridors. Next slide, please. So understanding the broader context in terms of planning and prioritizing our areas and where we work is really critical, but it's not always easy to do, as most of our project managers and field staff don't have the training or resources to run GIS analyses for their areas. Also, contextualizing landscape level decisions is really important in projects like our Corridors project, where we are working with landowners towards more sustainable practices. So, but again, in that case, with the Corridor project, for example, again, many landowners and farmers don't have the skills or access to software to run geospatial analyses. So what we really are in need of is software that can be easily shared with non-technical people and allow for spatial analyses customized to our regions and our projects, including global data as well. And this is really where we are quite excited about the potentials of MapBuilder, as it's really going to help us bring these data representations and analyses to the decision makers on the ground. Next slide, please. I'll hand it over to Trevor now to explain a little bit more of the technical aspects of how we'll do it.
Hi there. As Luami explained, the GCPR consists of a huge area, and over the years there's been a slow but steady development in the collection of GIS data for the area. And within the last few years, the need arose to find a way to share the data across numerous platforms and at various levels. I've been contracted by the GCPR to assist them in creating a system of spatial data collection, storage, and distribution, which is tailor-made for the numerous user levels within the GCPR to assist in furthering the conservation objectives of the organization. The GCPR makes use of the Esri product range through their non-profit licensing system for the creation and management of spatial data. An ArcMap shown here has been made available to a few key personnel to create, edit, undertake spatial analysis, and produce spatial products, mainly consisting of maps distributed either in digital form or hard copy, or in the form of data, such as shapefiles or KMZs, to be used in programs such as Google Earth. So what we have here is the Curated Biosphere Reserve boundary that we've clipped various South African national data sets to that to enable us to utilize them at our level, and also by clipping them, one obviously saves on storage space, which is an issue with ArcGIS Online. So in this case, we're able to see the vegetation types throughout our region, and underneath it we have the threatened vegetation types. So if one, for example, does the sweep, you're able to look at these various vegetation types and see what their threat levels are, as an example. We also have other data sets here derived from the vegetation, such as the biomes and the bioregions, etc. We also can obviously use broader data sets where we're not even clipping them, such as the geology map of South Africa. This is a broad geology map for South Africa, which we're obviously able to do. But one of the problems is that from a perspective for the national data, we don't have a huge amount of national data sets that are of extreme use. Well, some of them are, but mainly not really as informative as we would like. And there are a lot of international data sets that, because of the size of our area, could be extremely useful for us to look at. And when one does spatial queries with large data sets in the ArcGIS Online environment, it actually uses up what are known as your credits. And your credits are provided by Esri, and if your credits run out, you have to buy more credits, which are extremely expensive. So spatial analysis is a very expensive, it can become a very expensive way of managing your data. So one has to look at other ways of doing it, either doing the spatial analysis or on your PC and then bringing it over. But in this case, having data sets available through Global Forest Watch in the MapBuilder environment would be extremely useful, so that we could basically take our data, do the spatial analysis or perform the spatial analysis in the MapBuilder environment, as with the map before, we are also able to share individual project data using the online interface. The projects mentioned earlier by Luami are displayed in this map using a portfolio map. As discussed in the previous map, it would also be extremely useful to be able to examine this internal data with the broader global sets to assist us in the future planning and decision support. And once again, this is where the spatial analysis using the MapBuilder interface would be of great advantage to us. In rounding off, we can definitely state that we are very pleased with the prospect of making use of the ArcGIS Online MapBuilder interface. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, excellent. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk about our projects, and we welcome any questions during and after the webinar. Our contact details are on the screen, and I'm going to hand it over to Nancy now for the conclusion.
Thank you, and thank you everyone. Thank you again for joining us today. We're very excited to present this new website with you. And just to recap, because I see that there has been a lot of interaction in the Q&A section. MapBuilder is a tool that helps to contextualize global data with your own local data. It can easily join in a same map the data sets from the World Resources Institute with your local data. Some of the topics that are currently available are related to forest, to land, climate, as well as near real-time alerts and analysis. And we're confident that this tool will respond to some of the needs of leaders, researchers, collectives, agents, individuals who seek to generate a change in our planet and to act on the climate crisis. So whether to inform decision-making or to monitor change, to analyze trends, or to visualize data or to engage with your communities, we invite you to create your own MapBuilder map, to share with us any questions, any needs, any feedback that you have for us. And also very soon we will also have free training sessions for all of those who are interested in learning more about how to create their own MapBuilder map. We will share the registration form in the chat, and after the webinar, you will be able to register your interest in the survey that will pop up in your screen once the event is over. And yeah, I see that there are a lot of questions and that there has been a lot of interaction in the Q&A. So thank you again for your interest and for your commitment to our planet. And yeah, I will give the floor back to my colleague Sergio to start the Q&A session. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Nancy, and thank you to all our panelists for a great presentation. We've collected some of your questions during the webinar to answer them live. If you have any others, you can still input them in the Q&A form in Zoom. I would like to start putting Gabby on the spotlight to ask a couple of questions that were mentioned in the chat. One of them is about the integration of QGIS, because many of users don't have access to ArcGIS. Is it possible with MapBuilder, everyone has access to QGIS? Gabby, would you take that one?
Yeah, sure. This is a great question and something that we do get asked a lot, if it's possible to integrate with QGIS. It's something we scoped out. Unfortunately, because MapBuilder is a web map-based application and QGIS is a desktop-based application, it would be difficult to show this data online without access to your local desktop. But thankfully, we understand that there are some often limitations, since Esri services are usually a paid service, but ArcGIS Online does provide free accounts to users with limited data storage capabilities as well. So it is possible to make a map completely for free using the ArcGIS Online free account. So this is in our tutorials on our website, and you'll see as you're going through the MapBuilder workflow how to set up that free account and how to deal with your data within that specific account. So yeah, unfortunately, it's not integrated into QGIS. It is something we've sourced. It's not really possible just based off of the limitations, but you can still make a MapBuilder for free using ArcGIS Online.
Fantastic. Thanks for that clarification. And there's another question that is very interesting. Gabby, if we could continue with you, that it's about privacy. And the question is, how do you handle the user's own data uploaded to the MapBuilder platform?
Great, yeah, thank you. So I think this is a common misconception. MapBuilder leverages ArcGIS Online. So there is no user data, no shapefiles really being uploaded or hosted on the MapBuilder platform. We don't hold any of your shapefiles or any of that kind of information. So all of the data that is being uploaded to ArcGIS Online and follows those specific data privacy policies that ArcGIS Online has. MapBuilder simply provides the web mapping template for you to be able to access data on WRI's API and to be able to access some customized tools and other features that we've created. But the data, your own data, stays with you and within the ArcGIS Online platform in that environment. So we don't actually have access or handle that data.
Okay, thanks a lot. That was very clear. We have another kind of technical question regarding formats. One is it possible to upload raster images to MapBuilder? Gabby or Christine, would you like to answer that one?
Yeah, I can take that one. So as Gabby was saying, we mainly encourage you to use ArcGIS Online to store and stylize your data. And unfortunately, ArcGIS Online does not really support raster data. They do allow you to convert raster data to one of the supported formats, which is let me pull them up, a web tile service such as WMS or WMTS. And so that basically converts the raster data into PNG tiles at different zooms. So that's how you can do that in ArcGIS Online. Otherwise, you can also do that conversion on your own and store those tiles somewhere like Amazon Web Services or online. And that's how you can bring in both raster and NetCDF data into MapBuilder. It's mainly because the raster data is a little bit harder to visualize online in comparison to shapefiles and GeoJSONs. So we actually, in our resources page, have tutorials on how to do that, and ArcGIS Online also has more information on how to do that. And if you have any questions, you can also fill out the contact us form on the website as well.
Great, thank you. And now that we're with you, there's a question that was also answered a couple of times that might be relevant for a lot of people in the call. That is it possible? No, how can one use the resulting maps in a report, and how would you reference them?
Yes, so you can embed the maps into websites that you can include in reports, or you can also, I believe, print the map as an image as well to include in reports. But the beauty of MapBuilder is being able to zoom and pan to different regions, do this analysis on the fly. So we would recommend including links to your MapBuilder maps in reports to funders, or walking through your maps in demonstrating either the work that you've done in restoration or potentially interventions that you've done as well.
Great, thank you. And there was also a question about, we know that MapBuilder is mostly presented as a monitoring app, but is it useful also to do analysis on, like, after the fact analysis, for example, on urban expansion or other matters like that?
Yeah, I would say the analysis that's available can help you in many facets. So particularly, I saw a question on like monitoring illegal areas. If you have those boundaries for your region and you upload them to ArcGIS Online and include it in your MapBuilder application, you can run those analysis over those areas. So you can see if there's tree cover loss or deforestation alerts, and also get land cover change in those boundaries. So it can be used both for active monitoring and for doing kind of like a post-action analysis as well.
Excellent, thanks a lot. I think we've covered some of the, or most of the questions that we've got in the Q&A. I see others that are a bit more specific that maybe we could answer. We could write back to you with those. A question just came in regarding how often is the data uploaded? That might be very relevant.
Yeah, the data on MapBuilder, a number of the data sets are updated annually. Apart from our near real-time data sets, that includes our deforestation alerts and our active fire alerts. Those update daily. The imagery from Planet also comes out monthly, which is great. We also have our nitrogen dioxide data is also near real-time, and that updates monthly as well. But beyond that, a lot of the data layers, as I said, update annually, but we are also planning to add more data sets to MapBuilder and to request either global data sets that you want to include in MapBuilder, or just even data topics, like if you're interested in more air quality compounds or more data on urban areas or something like that. We encourage you to go to the Contact Us form on the website, and you can put in the subject just something like data set requests or data topic requests, and you can request a specific data set to be included. We just ask you to limit those requests to global data sets, because that's kind of the point of MapBuilder, is we bring you the global data sets. If you have regional data sets that you're interested in, you can either connect those through ArcGIS Online or one of the supported data formats that I mentioned before. And additionally, I also wanted to mention, we didn't really cover this in the tutorials, but through ArcGIS Online, you also have access to what they call their Living Atlas, which is their online repository of data sets that they've either vetted or users have published. So there's a huge catalog of data sets. There's a lot of country level data sets as well. And you can peruse through those and add them to your web map as well to include in your MapBuilder application. So we also have some data sets from Global Forest Watch available in ArcGIS Online through the Living Atlas as well. But I would encourage you to search through those layers as well for any data that's missing from either the global data sets in MapBuilder or that you don't have readily available. So we have additional information on how to do that in our tutorial section as well.
Great, Christine, thanks a lot. As a last question, we had several questions coming in regarding which areas can be analyzed. And I get data for Bolivia, for Congo, for several other countries. Nancy, would you like to answer that one?
Yeah, sure. As we mentioned earlier in the webinar, the data sets from WRI are global. So they are some of them include analysis functions that you can select based on the area that you want to analyze. Not all of them have this function, but you can actually select on the MapBuilder application the area that you want to analyze based on the global data that we have available. But yeah, there are global data, so you can pick the area of your interest and start, analyzing based on the polygon that you are interested in or the specific section on the map. And yeah, just to maybe to close this conversation, just remember that we will give free training sessions in the coming months. Please register, and based on your interest, we will start scheduling the different sessions for this. Also, yeah, just based on we want to get to know if the general reception of this product, and based on that we will start we will start offering new sessions for you.
Fantastic, thanks a lot. Well, we are out of time, but thanks a lot for joining, everyone, to our panelists and to everyone who attended the webinar. Also, please remember to complete the post-webinar survey that will be popping into your screen once the webinar is finished. Also, we will be sending the recording of the session alongside the slides of the presentation, so you can have it at hand. And also, I just shared in the chat a few links that might be of interest for you to read more about the project, and also obviously the link to the MapBuilder site and a contact email in case you want to know more about the tool. Thanks everyone for joining. We'll see you next time. Please register to the coming trainings if you're interested, and we'll see you then. Thanks a lot.